Hi, my name is Tom Goodrich. I'm manager of the Weichert Realtors Basking Ridge office. I'm here to tell a very heartfelt story about one of our customers, Sylvia. Sylvia came to our country about 2 decades ago from Honduras. I didn't even know where Honduras really was until I Googled it. And what I found out about Honduras was it's a very high crime country, actually the highest in the world, with a ton of corruption. So she took a great leap of faith, leaving 2 children behind to come to our country for a better life for herself and her family.
I left my country almost 20 years ago. My daughter Rosa have 8 years old, and my son Franklin have 6 years. And I see no future for them. And I ask him every day, what is going to be the future for my kids?
At the beginning it was hard for an 8-year-old to understand why mom was not home, why she was living away, why we couldn't get to see her. But then she explained to me the reasons why she left. And then I slowly understood why she left.
Being away from my kids, it was like a piece of my heart, half of my heart. It was something out of me. I remember one day I called from the public telephone. I made a phone call, and I remember my son Franklin, and he started crying. He said this word for me: "Mom, I don't want any toys. I don't want any shoes. I don't want any clothes. I just want here my mom with me." That's break me, my heart in pieces.
It was really hard for me because I was so little. I was just 6 years old, and the closer person to me was my mom.
We expected a phone call every Sunday, and the words that she had for us was always, please be safe, take care of yourself, and let's do this together.
She became a domestic housekeeper and worked very hard for many years while her 2 children stayed back in Honduras.
I started working hard, very hard. When I say hard, I have no day off. I work Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week.
Until she earned enough income to bring her family back.
We just saw her when they started running in the airport, and it was the most beautiful hug I got from my mom after 10 years without seeing her.
When my sister saw her, she threw everything she had in the hands and ran over the lines, and she just hugged her, and I was like, I just stopped for a moment and was thinking, is this for real? Is this happening now after 10 long years?
I have no words to describe how I felt that moment. That moment, that was the more precious moment in my life.
At the beginning it was very hard, because it was like moving to another world. We did not understand any English. The culture is different. But we said, my mom did this, we can do it. We can definitely do it.
One day she got a knock on her door. It was the landlord advising her that the property she's living in was not only listed, but currently under contract. You can imagine the panic that Sylvia went through at that point, knowing she had no place to live.
And I say, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do now.
One night you go to sleep, and the other day they just come knock the door and say, hey, you had to move. You had to get out of the house.
Sylvia approached us as a company, Weichert Realtors, to find a suitable place for her to live. And we, of course, looked for a rental. 2 weeks later, Sylvia got another knock on the door. This time it was from the landlord saying that the deal had fallen through. When she contacted Weichert Realtors, a light bulb went off in our head that says, hey, maybe we can go from a rental to a resale for her, and that she can actually afford the place that she lives in.
I was like afraid. Everything in this process, it was new for me. And I say, well, my kids, we may be together, we can do this.
And then she spoke to us about the chance to buy this property. And at the beginning, it seemed very, a very high dream for a family so small. But then we communicate with the people at Weichert, and they were very helpful, very resourceful, and they help us through every step.
The first thing we did was introduce Sylvia to Johan Quadros, who's our outstanding Gold Services Manager out of the Weichert Randolph office.
Our initial meeting, Sylvia was very nervous, had no clue what the mortgage process was like, what it would take on her end, or if it even was possible to get this done.
And I never imagined this is going to be going fast, very fast.
Later on, we scheduled another meeting with her and her 2 kids to come in so that I can gather all the appropriate documentation just to, reassure her and ensure that we will be able to get the mortgage done, and especially in a timely manner, considering that the type of property she was buying required immediate action.
They are professional in every single way. They try to understand, they listen to you, you know, they have the patience to work with you.
And after finishing, I told them, Sylvia, based on everything that we have here, we can make this happen for you. Sylvia was very emotional, beginning to tear up, I guess thinking, is this really going to happen for me? Am I going to make the American dream come true for me and my family?
Once Sylvia was pre-approved, I went back to the listing agent and found there'd be a lot of negotiation room. In fact, we got the property for $50,000 less than the asking price.
They were very helpful, resourceful, and they had an answer to every of our questions. We felt like there was a family at Weichert. They wanted us to have a house.
This closing was going to happen, and that was something that really made us feel good based on all the time and effort that we spent on that and realizing the dream for Sylvia.
Now I can say this is my house, my home.
When we went to the closing on November 4th, Sylvia was ecstatic. She was in tears that in her wildest dreams, she never thought she'd be able to own a home, and today, Sylvia is living the American dream.
From the moment I get the key in my hands, I say, oh my God, this is mine now. This is my house. This is what I was looking for. And now it's no more rental, it's my home.
They took us through all the steps until we got this house. And I'm very grateful for it, because after being homeless, I have no words to describe what it is to come home every day after being homeless.
And my words for Weichert, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for all the support, all the hope I received for your company.